I want to start with a confession. I would love to come across as relaxed, fun, chilled out, interesting. But as you can see, the truth is that deep down, I'm a control freak. And I truly believe that deep down inside a soul is the need to be in control. At what time we need dinner? At what time we leave for work? How long will we stay with our family? We press control every day on our resources, the environment, time, the weather, and even uncertainty. But do you know where this need for control comes from? Research from Lauren Eliody showed that believing in one's ability to exert control over an environment is essential for an individual's well-being. It makes us feel safe and secure. But it turns out it's also an imperative for survival. A few weeks ago, I had a conversation with my close friend Suzanne. We were talking about change and how to deal with it. And she said to me, Cyril, without control, you will not be able to get anything done. Today is the 20th April 2024. It has been exactly 11 years to the very day that I was released after being held captive by Boko Haram in Cameroon while on vacation with my brother, his wife, and their 4 kids. We were held hostage for 60 days. On the 19th February 2013, while driving to a wildlife park in northern Cameroon, a one-day excursion perfectly planned during a 12-day holiday, 8 heavily armed militants seized us all and took us captive. In the lapse of a second, all my resources were taken from me. Smartphone, money, food, and water. I was stripped of all my bearings. After a crazy day of being shoved into cars on motorbike, we were held to a camp and held to a 15 square meter space, kneeling under extreme temperatures. That space. Above us, there was only a thin linen cloth to shield us from the hot sun, typical in this dry season. It felt suffocating. Minutes turned into hours. Hours into days. Every day was so long and uncertain in this extremely confined space, 24 hours a day. The few things to keep us busy were a few books, a Scrabble game, and 2 pens. Every day, 20 armed men were cleaning their weapons a few centimeters away from our shelter. In front of us, a hole in the ground used as a fire pit. Nearby, 2 men talking one to another in an unknown language. Our captors, we would negotiate with every day for food and water. 7 days into our captivity, I remember the moment we decided to place a bet on our release date. Each of us wrote down our desired release date. Some of us were optimistic, others much more conservative. I vividly recall the moment when, shivering, I noted down on a small piece of paper 2 numbers I'd carefully chosen, 1803. By planning these dates, I felt in control. By writing down our potential captivity end date, I took an action in the effort to control the situation we were in. And after the earliest predicted end date passed, and nothing happened, I remember feeling great anger, despair, stress, and anxiety. Because I realized that by putting that end date, I wanted to control something out of my control. The major paradox ever in life: how to abandon, how to release something vital to us that we truly need. Each passing day brought us closer to our predicted release date. And when all our predicted release dates passed and nothing happened, I felt a deep rupture in myself, and my ability to cope with the unknown radically shifted from before to after. Writing down those dates gave us something to hold on to, a precious element of hope, of light in the face of such extreme circumstances. When all those dates passed, so too did my hopes associated with it. I felt a deep stab in me. All my hopes had been dashed. And the impact on my mental health was huge. Anger, feeling vulnerable, defeated, and taught me one lesson. The more I tried to take back control, the faster I was losing my mind. The more I was taming myself, preventing from getting access to my true potential. From that day, I learned that control is an illusion. But it is also a matter of choice. And that was the moment I decided to let go. By deliberately deciding to let go of uncertainty, you will create a new frame, a new level of comfort, a new state of awareness, new capacity to explore fascinating new opportunities. You will be able to thrive in life. Few weeks of our captivity, one day something unique happened. I was lying on my back in this suffocating shelter. I was desperate. A mixed feeling between emptiness and fragility. My mind was elsewhere, nowhere. Suddenly, with the eyes closed, I felt a certain weight on my chest. Opening my eyes, I saw my 5-year-old nephew climbing on top of me. I did not expect that. He wanted to play. I needed to move my body. Trusting this inner voice, without any clue of how this game would continue, I decided to push slowly my 2 arms up and to make a movement, a small one. And my nephew responded. By doing that, I allowed to be led by the magic of nurturing my nephew's need, fed by his childhood innocence. We both created, step by step, an amazing story. The first acro yoga in a shelter. His brother joined the game. I had to keep going. We had to keep going. Together, we turned chaos into a dream, becoming athletes. This was my first step into thriving in the unknown, even if the environment was getting more and more extreme. We were suffering from thirst, we were losing strength. It was at this moment that I decided to let go of all my fears, to reconnect with my inner child intuition, my sensitive spirit, my artist soul. From that day on, I decided to live every day as if it were the last one in my life. By deliberately accepting reality as it was, harsh, extreme, with so many obstacles. By deliberately accepting that what I used to take for granted was not anymore there, I was now open to any possibilities and potential. This mindset shift activated all my senses. I started noticing 1,000 of details I had never observed before. I begin to sense a movement of a single ant on the ground. I could distinguish a bird chirping on a branch. I could hear the wind caressing some vines above my head. It was as if suddenly I had let my brain grow millions of unsuspected neurons to make fascinating new pathways. I entered a space that revealed a version of myself I had never connected with before. Suddenly, I forgot about uncertainty. The future was no longer a source of fear and anxiety, but an imperfect vision that allowed me to dance in the moment, imagining, despite the chaos, unforgettable stories with the people I cared about the most, the kids. We live in a time of uncertainty. The past is no longer there. The future is yet to be defined. We are trapped between what used to be and what could be created. So I believe we need to let go of our certainties, to open doors to new possibilities, new dreams. Imagine what we truly desire as a society. So don't be afraid to surrender to uncertainty, because it is never too late. Don't be scared by your desire. Don't be captive by your desire to control uncertainty. Embrace it instead. Letting go is a matter of both fear and faith. It's a choice. Your choice to open a door into a universe where everything is possible. Thank you.